Alright, okay, so you guys might have seen my first two videos on here. Basically, one is a video that I made using Windows Movie Maker about just Kandi Kid stuff and cybergoth and raver stuff. And the other one was about the best, coolest cars I ever, thought of in the world. With the Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, Daihatsus, all that kind of stuff. Dodge, American Muscle. Okay, well, in this video, my whole channel is going to be based around ravers, Kandi Kids, cybergoths, that kind of stuff. And some other things like cars and maybe some video games. But mostly about Kandi Kid stuff. And so today what I'm going to talk to you about is the very, very basics of candy. And I'm going to do that by showing you different kinds of things you can make using pony beads. Different kind of, how should I say it? Candy projects. For instance, you can make bracelets. You can make lanyards. You can make Peyote Stitch. You can do all kinds of things with pony beads. And pony beads have been around a long time, and people making candy have been around a long time. Candy has been out probably since the 80s. That's at least my research. And it's kind of a thing for the rave scene, the people who go to clubs. Not people who go to the clubs that listen to rock music or jazz. We're talking the people who listen to techno, trance, house music, basically electronic music, and disco, like 70s, 80s disco. And basically, I want to do this because I'm going to have a lot of tutorials on different stuff you can make. So first what I'm going to show you that basically you can make, which is very simple, and it's actually what everyone starts out making. It's called a single. Okay? So I'm going to show you 3 different singles. And the reason why I'm going to show you them is because one has letters, and then the other 2, well, the design, you'll see when I show you. So one has letters, and one has a design that's kind of like, this. And then the other one has this design, and then this one has letters. So this one says love, and I made these ones to give away. So when I show you stuff that I have made, I will tell you which is the stuff that I made that I don't really care about. I just made it just to give away, and then which is stuff that is actual mine that is not to be given away. So, yeah. Okay, so this one is a single, and it's basically made up of a cream color with colored letters that spell love. Okay? Now, you can also, like what's on my arm, put black letters, or you could put colored letters that have, well, basically the blocks are colored but with white lettering. The blocks are white with black lettering, and then the blocks are white with colored lettering. Okay? And this one has, purple, blue, purple, blue. Well, actually, no, it's actually, I guess you can call it violet, blue, violet, and then purple right here. Okay? And then there's this one, which is just all solid, just all one color. And then there's this one, which is a design, a pattern. So I wanted to show you these 3 because I wanted to show you that you can make one where the color is all one color and put some letters, whether it be white on colored letters or whatever, or black or whatever. Then I wanted to show you that this one is all one color. And these are simple. This one right here, this is the one that is the easiest to make. Okay? Because it's all one color. And how many beads should you put? You put how many to how big your arm is, to how it fits you. Okay? I'm not going to tell you how many you should put, but I will tell you this. For myself, I put 28, okay, or 30. Sometimes if you put letters and you're spelling something and you do it long and you do a design like a pattern or you do it solid, sometimes you may need to put 31 or 32 because you spelt something. And your design may require more, may require less depending on the lettering. But if you're doing it all solid, oh, bam, it's going to come out to like an even 30, even 29, even 26, whatever you do it on, okay? All right. So these are all called singles. These three right here, okay? So these are singles. So when you want to start making candy, start making singles, I would recommend that first, but then you do what you want. But I started out actually not making singles, but then again, I started out making singles with what I started out as also. So I actually started out making lanyards and singles, but singles came easy to me first before the lanyard. So these are singles, okay? Alright? Okay. Next one I'm going to show you actually comes from singles, is basically it's called a multi-stitch. And I have 3 of them here because I'm going to show you 3. So the first multi-stitch is pretty simple. Cream color, okay? And this one is actually to give away, okay? I'm not keeping this. Again, I made this for the sole purpose of giving away because I made it a color that I sort of don't use that much, and I use this color to give away, okay? And it's basically made up of a bunch of stitches that make it look like multi. You see all that string? Looks all like it's been multi-stitched together. Well, it's not. Because actually, if you think about it, okay, it starts out from a single. Because this bottom base, or this bottom base, was actually a single. And then I just worked my way up, okay? Or worked my way up this way. Now, with the multi, okay, you can actually add the letters in between. Okay? So you can actually take these letters and you can actually add them in between, or if you're actually skilled enough or creative enough, or just good at it, make your letters out of the multi. See? This says plur, P-L-U-R, which stands for peace, okay? Peace, love, unity, and respect. And this multi-stitch, this one's not to give away. This one's mine. This is personally mine. This is actually my first plur multi-stitch cuff. And as you can see, again, it has multi. And this one's pretty simple to make. The plur. Some people might think, oh, that letter's hard to make. No, it isn't. If you know how to multi-stitch, it's easy. If you're learning, well, then you can learn how to make this one. Okay? So it's all orange with black, and it says plur. Alright? Now, this one is my Hello Kitty multi-stitch cuff. Yes, my Hello Kitty. Okay? On the back, it's yellow. I don't know, I was debating whether to do all purple, but then I thought I would run out, so I did yellow, but then, so I just did this Hello Kitty. So, let me actually put this, okay? So see, my Hello Kitty, very nice. This is very nice, okay? You think this looks hard? This is not hard at all, actually. This is pretty easy. Multi-stitching is actually the one that never got me. I got the multi-stitching because it's so easy. It's just basically derived from a single at the bottom. Okay? So this will be like the second thing you probably do that's very simple. After you learn a single, then you'll learn how to work your way up and do multi-stitching. But first learn this simple thing. Just make one this size. This is perfect. On the side it has 4 beads here. Okay? So that's perfect. And then work your way up to, you know, doing a pattern like this. Alright? So these are multi-stitch cuffs. Okay? These are called multi-stitch cuffs. Alright. Next, that also comes from a single, okay, is, it's called an X cuff base, okay, or X base cuff, whatever you would like to call it, one of those two. And I'm going to show you 2 of them, okay, and basically these are what you say they are, because you see the X right here. Now this one has 1, 2, 3. This one has 3 X's in a row. So this one is like, you know, I made it a little tall and stuff. And this one also is multi-stitching, but it's called an X base cuff. Okay, and it's multi-stitched, and you know, and this one is mine. It's not to give away. Oh, and that Hello Kitty one over there that I just showed you is not to give away either. It's mine, my personal one. This one's mine, not to give away, but it's too small on me, but still. I made this one first to see, well, actually, I made the orange one first to see if I can make one. And I didn't know how to finish the top. And then finally someone else showed me how. And, well, actually, yeah, someone showed me how, and then I finally finished the top, and then I made this one as the second one to see if I could actually do it again on my own. So this one, you know, it's pretty fun. This one might be a little bit extra, like a little bit hard, because the multi-stitch is easy, but the X base, sometimes you might not get it. So, hold on. Yeah? Okay. So, this basically is, you know, it's pretty easy once you learn it, but you might have trouble with it. So when I show you how to make this one, I will go very slowly. I promise you. And I will teach you all the stuff that I'm showing you today is all I know how to make. So if you ask me how to make certain things that I didn't show you, I will tell you I don't know how to make those, if you ask me in the questions below. But when I teach you how to make something, I will go very slowly. And I will repeat myself a lot so you understand. But I will say it clearly too. So these are X cuff bases or X base cuffs. I don't know which one's the proper term, but I use both so that way you can use whichever one. And if people want to correct me at the bottom on the comments, that's fine. Alright, because I need to be corrected. So these are X base cuffs. Next, what I'm going to show you comes from a single. You start off with a single, but then you turn it into an X base cuff, or an X cuff base. Then you take that a step further, and you make a UFO cuff. Okay? Now this UFO cuff is simple. It's an X base or X cuff base, X base cuff, and then on the outside there's stars. So then on the outside there's X's, and I put stars. And basically what you do, okay, is you see, I'll show you the purple and white. See how there's X's on the outside? What you do is on the outside of these X's you make outer X's, okay, and it looks like a UFO, looks like a spaceship. I know that's not perfectly straight, but I mean circular, but you know, looks like a UFO. Then on these outer X's, if you want to take it a step further, you can make one that has even rings around it. Kind of like Saturn. Just think of Saturn. So this is a UFO cuff. It's not called an X base. You start out with a single, make an X base, then when you put the X's on the outside of the X base, it's called what is known as a UFO cuff. Then if you put these rings around it, it's still called a UFO cuff. And how tall you make it, so if you make it like, see how there's only one set of X's, and here there's like a bunch, it's taller. How tall you make it, if you start to put these outer things, it'll get like bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So if you have it like 2 times as tall, then this ring around it will be bigger. And I'll show you what I mean, when I make one of these. So these are UFO cuffs, okay? Alright. Next one I'm going to show you also comes from a single, okay? And I'm actually going to show you both of them, actually. As a matter of fact, yes. I'm going to show you, actually, yeah, I'm going to show you this first, actually. I don't want to actually go too fast. This one is daisy. It's basically flowers, and they're daisies. Yes. And it comes from a single, and then you make a multi-stitch, but you make it into a flower shape, okay? You can think of EDC, if you've ever seen any EDC like flowers, yes. Or if you've just ever seen a stitch like this, well, these are daisies, and it's like a multi-stitch, but it's different. It's done differently than you would do a multi-stitch, okay? It's done differently. But it starts out as a single, just a large single. This one's a large. You can make it small, you can make it big, you can make it massive, okay? So this is, I call it the daisy cuff, made out of singles, but I call it a daisy cuff. Alright? And it is multi-stitching, but done differently. So there's 2 kinds of multi-stitching. This one comes from a single also, and what it's called is a star. Okay? I do have smaller versions. Let me see if I have. No, I don't have them out with me, but I do have smaller versions. But this is just one that I thought I'd make a larger one. And you see how this white part is a single, and these yellow parts are like the the pointy tips of the stars. So this is a single, and then the yellow part is a pointy tip of a star. And it's not too hard to make, actually. It's pretty simple. So when I show you how to make these, I think you'll get it hands down. So this also comes from a single. So basically, all the first stuff I showed you is derived from a single. I'm going to show you these next things that also come from singles. They're just big singles, and they're necklaces. And the star I showed you is my personal one, so it's not for trade. The daisy cuff I showed you is not for trade, it's my personal one. Neither are these UFO cuffs, okay? Neither are these X base cuffs. And neither is this Plur multi-stitch, the Hello Kitty multi-stitch. The only things that are for trade is this stuff right here, the stuff that I don't want, the stuff that I made purposely for trade, okay? That's it. Now, you're about to see, you are seeing something right now that is super old. I made this when I was probably 6 years old. 7, probably 6 to 8 years old, I don't remember. Now, I didn't use stretchy string on this. I have like some leather cord in this. And I also used these kind of beads, which are not pony beads. And I also used this kind of lettering, which is instead of square, circle. Then I used these kind of wooden skulls and wooden like beads that my brother gave me from when he was a kid. So these beads are like super old. But these pony beads, these are like my very first like pony beads I ever bought. Like my parents bought, and I made this because I saw kids at elementary school making these for arts and crafts shows and selling them for like $1, maybe $1.50. And they were just making little bracelets, singles, and necklaces. So I thought I'd make some. And I didn't know this was Kandi, but I knew about electronic music because I always listened to it since I was born. But I didn't know that people who listen to electronic music also wore Kandi. So I didn't know this was called Kandi. I just knew it as, I don't know, a craft or an art or a beaded bracelet. And I didn't even know these were called pony beads until probably about high school. So, but, I was a kid, so what did I know? But this is my oldest bracelet, my oldest necklace. And as you can see, it's just a large single. And I hold this dearly, so yeah, this one goes to my grave. Same with this one. This one I actually made 2 years ago, last year, or 2 years ago. But I hold this one dearly too because I'm a Hello Kitty fan, and I love Hello Kitty. And this also comes from a large single, but I just added this. So here's the difference. You see how this single is completed? It's a completed single. And this one, if I were to take out this Hello Kitty, it would be a completed single too with blues right here. All I did was, I just basically took this Hello Kitty and took 2 pieces of string and put one here, and then made a whole big single, and then this Hello Kitty at the bottom, and I made another necklace, okay? You can add whatever you want at the bottom, or you can complete the whole single. And you can do any design you want. This, actually, I didn't even want it, I wasn't even trying to make a design. I was just trying to make a what's it called? A necklace. And I used to wear this a lot. Now, not so much, but I still wear it sometimes. And it says seen, but I don't know, I just did that. I was a little kid. So, these are my 2 necklaces. One of my 2. I mean, these are 2 of many, actually, I have. Yes, and I'm making more, actually. So, these are necklaces. Just big singles, but longer, and turn into necklaces. And they're not for trade. No, those are super precious. Just like all my other necklaces. Next, it does come from a single and a multi-stitch, which is a big purse. Now this, let's call it the so-so purse, because it's not really something ornate. It's not really that great, but it is cool. It's my very first one, my only one, and I decided to make one. And see, it's multi-stitch, except the cuff doesn't go all the way through. It is closed at the bottom, and that's what it is. This bottom was hard for me to do at first, so I learned from various people. But of course, the multi-stitch got it hands down, and these handles are actually, they look like singles. So, you can, there's like half a single into a handle. And it's a cool purse. I just did this wacky design, and, who cares? But it's cool. It's my Kandi purse. I don't use it for anything, but I hold it dearly to me, so sorry, not for trade either. I know that you want all my good stuff for trade, but you know what? I'm sorry. Okay, this next one I'm going to show you has nothing to do with what I just showed you. It's a totally different bracelet, totally made differently, and I didn't use stretchy string, because when I first started making Kandi, well, I should say, when I first started and I was making stuff with beads, I used string like this. That wasn't stretchy. I used like cord, like that, you go to like Michael's or something and you buy that yarn or the cord, and it, I started off like that because I didn't know anything. And I bought those little bracelet kits from Michael's that came with, like, string, scissors, and cord, and I just made it. And this is a ladder cuff. You see how it looks like a ladder? Let me get into the light here. It looks like it's a ladder, right? And I decided to show you a simple one. This one's a simple design to make, or you can make one, with just all one color or different designs. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a ladder cuff. Alright? Alright. So, yeah, it's pretty simple to make, actually. This, actually, if you want to know, is probably the second simplest bracelet you can make. Okay? I would put the single, okay? So the single, the multi-stitch cuff, and the ladder cuff, the three first simplest bracelets you can actually make. Single being the simplest. Everyone should know that. Okay? Out of these two between, this was actually the second bracelet I learned how to make, was a ladder cuff. It wasn't a multi-stitch. It was actually a ladder cuff. But after the single, this is your second easiest because it comes from a single. But if you don't start out making this, then after the single, this ladder cuff would be your second easiest. Okay, if you didn't encounter this one next. But these are the three most easiest. And if you just stick to making these three your whole life, you know what? That's cool. You're still a Kandi kid. Don't be like, oh, I only know how to make these three. No. Listen. If you only know how to make these three, or if you don't even only know how to make singles, that's cool. If you want to only make singles, that's even cool too. So don't feel all down or discouraged. Hey, look, whatever you make is fine for us Kandi kids, okay? Don't listen to those Kandi kids who think they're all that and they're gods. They're just showboats, okay? So these are the three most easiest. But this is a ladder cuff, okay? Self-explanatory. Looks like a ladder. Walking up the ladder. Alright. Next, doesn't come from any of that. Except for, well, actually, well, no. Okay. You see this ladder cuff? This is how you make snakes. Okay? And lizards. You see the lizard's body? Okay. Now you see this ladder cuff? This ladder cuff goes all the way around. It goes all the way around. It's all the way around, okay? If I took this lizard and I went all the way around, what does that look like? A ladder cuff, right? But it's a lizard. See that? There's three right there. This is his body. This is how you do the lizard. The same way you do the same kind of stitching that you do for this ladder cuff, you actually do for this lizard, okay, right here, for this snake, okay, and for this snake. And by the way, this ladder cuff, it's for trade, okay? This one, I'm actually going to trade it. This one's not one of the ones for me. This is something that I made. It's my own design, actually, and my own colors, but actually it's for trade. And this lizard is for trade, too. It's a lanyard you can put on a backpack, cell phone, whatever you want to put it on. This one's for trade. Now, these snakes, okay, these are actually made the same time period that this bracelet was made. When I was like, maybe 7 to 9 years old, I don't know, 10 years old. These I hold dearly. These are my very first long snakes. These are actually my first kind of, I would say, multi-stitching ladder type thing. And I know they're all different colors, but these are actually the original colors and the original key rings too, actually, that came with the kit, and the original string. So all this is original. And I just had so much of every color that I just meshed it all together. Except here I did the eyes, same color. Same with this one, okay? Now I do have another snake that I made. It's actually on my backpack, and that one's newer. That one I made 2 years ago. and that one is not all multicolored. So if you'll hold on, I'll grab it, which is right here. It's on my backpack. And this one is just red and orange with blue eyes. And it's not for trade. Sorry, it's my personal one. Same as this. This is my personal lizard. And I use paracord for this. And I use paracord for this. This, my friend gave me. This, my friend gave me like probably in 5th grade. And his sister made this. And this lizard, this is not even going to be touched. This is my super dearly special lizard that is going to my grave when I die. Because, I mean, this is precious. My friend gave this to me, and I have been best friends with him since 3rd grade or 2nd grade. And when he gave this to me, I was like, wow. And I still didn't know that this was called Kandi. So I thought this was just an arts and crafts. And yes, this is my Hello Kitty. I'm a Hello Kitty fan. I have a lot of stuff. So this is the newest snake, and this lizard is new. And that other lizard over there is new too. It's like, I mean, it's recent is what I mean. But this lizard, okay, right here, this one, the green one and the clear, and these two snakes, those are like, yeah, from like when I was in elementary school. Okay? Now, these are pretty simple to make. So if you know how to do a ladder cuff, you just know how to do this. Okay? Alright. The next I'm going to show you is a mask and stuff that's made the same way as you would make the mask. Okay? As you can see, I got some bows here. I got this flat piece that says trance. I know the black doesn't contrast with the blue, but I don't know, I just chose that color scheme. And then I got Hello Kitty. Yeah, Hello Kitty. And then I got this mask. Now, what does this have all in common? It's all done by a stitching called Peyote Stitch. Or some people say Peyote Stitching, but Peyote Stitch. And what it is a bunch of stitching. Okay? See? Looks like a bunch of stitching. And it looks like a multi-stitch, because if I fold this over, okay, and then I connect the two ends, okay, see? Looks kind of like a cuff, right? Looks almost like a cuff. And some people do actually turn these into cuffs. So what they do is they make a flat piece, just like this, okay? Let's use this as an example. And then they connect the two ends of the flat piece, and they make a cuff like this. Instead of doing it the single way, they just start out the flat way. Now this one took me hours, and I stayed up until 2. Yeah, some nights. But this one, I came up with my own color scheme, but I like the radioactive symbol because I'm, well, my Kandi channel is Biohazard Candy Kid, and this is Biohazard symbol. Sorry, not radioactive. And so I think it's, pretty awesome. Now this is a heart. It's a screwed up heart, but I was just learning, and this is the first heart I made. And I was learning off of a video, so yeah, it's okay. But you can make all sorts of things. So I have 2 bows here. I have a mask, and I do have 2 other masks that I did. I have this flat piece, and this heart. Now I have other pieces I made, and all this right here, not trading. This is all personal. This is going to my grave. Same with the other pieces I've made. I almost was going to trade this heart, but then I said, you know what, no. Oh, and the piece on my necklace, this is also peyote stitching, and I have another one that's the same. It's just that one of the black pieces here is all screwed up, but I'm not trading the other piece. I'm going to turn it into a necklace, or I might just leave it as is, just flat, and not do anything with it. But this is, the second one I made, but I have 2 of these same. Hello Kitty, okay? Alright, so this is my Kandi stuff that I wanted to show you. This is what I know how to make. so far. All this stuff. The singles, the X cuff, the multi-stitch, the Peyote Stitch, the mask, you know, ladder cuff, bracelets, necklaces, lanyards, keychains, purses, all that kind of stuff. Goggles, I do know how to make. I just didn't show you them. But all it is, okay, all goggles are, is you make 2 of these, same length, same color, and then you take, you know, the toilet paper rolls, you cut one of those out, put a bunch of tape on it, on one end, and, you know, seal it off, and then you put it between here, and then you take, like, a bracelet, and you attach it to here, and the other piece over here, and then you got your goggles, and then you make straps on the other side. And I'll show you how to make goggles. So, there you go. I hope you like this video. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to talk about materials in my next video. I'm not going to do it in this one. This one I'm just showing you what you can make and what I will teach you how to make. Okay? So you can comment on this video if there's anything you want to ask. But I'm sure you'll ask in the how-to videos and the other videos, okay? So I hope that you would start making this stuff. It's fun to make. You can sell it. You can give it away. You can do whatever you like with it. There are people out there who don't believe in selling this stuff, but it's a free world. You do what you want. You don't have to listen to anybody. It's your life, your world. I haven't sold any, but I might sell the ones like I showed you, like this one. I might sell the ones I make just for giving away, just in case I want some extra moolah, just for buying extra like beads and stuff. Some people believe that if you're like 10 years old, you don't have a job, you're out of the workforce because you can't work until you're 16, and you make this stuff and then you sell it like at your school, or you sell it, on the side corner to make an extra penny because you want to go buy that new toy or something, then, some people say, okay, that's cool, and we respect that. You're a little kid trying to make some money, just like setting up a lemonade stand. But then they say if you're like 16 and over, you got a job and stuff, and you're in the workforce, it's not for selling. You're not obeying the rules of plur. Then you're not going by plur. Well, you know what? Who cares? I mean, it's their life. It's what they want to do. You do what you do, we do what we do. Okay? So, that's what I believe. I believe that you can sell it or trade it or do what the heck you want with it. And it's called candy no matter what. If you sell it, it's called candy. If you trade it, it's called candy. No matter what you do with it, okay? Because it is what it is. It's candy. And why is it called candy? Well, because it looks like candy. Do you think a 5-year-old kid would eat this if he saw it? Yeah, sure he would. He would think it's candy. Of course, you tell him no. And it's not spelled like you spell candy, like the M&M's candy. It's spelled Kandi. 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 That's how you spell it, okay? And what we're called are candy kids. Or you can call yourself a candy boy or candy girl, whatever you'd like, okay? Or you can call yourself a raver kid, or raver boy, or a raver girl. But this is called candy, okay? This stuff, all of it. All of it. Even the bras, even the goggles, even all the other stuff that I don't know how to make, that I don't have, that I can't show you, is called candy, okay? Anything like this. Alright, well, so I'll see you in my next video, and it will be about supplies, and it will be about, where to get them, what kind of supplies to use, and, all this stuff. Alright? Alright then, so just comment below, and don't leave any rude comments. I do not like that. If you do, I will have to remove you, okay? Alright then, So I will see you in the next video. Alright, see you then. Bye.